MPs, therefore Conservative MPs, would have to vote in support of the government. Then later on, they were told it wasn't a vote of no confidence, but in the early hours of today, we learned that it was a vote of confidence after all, and that those MPs, more than 30 of them, who hadn't voted to support the government, would be subject to disciplinary proceedings. Now, the chaos and confusion around that, the breakdown of discipline around that, has really angered a lot of Conservative MPs. It seems to have been a tipping point, in fact, for what's happening today, and many of them saying, how can we be disciplined when there was so much confusion over that vote? So that is certainly the deteriorating situation that MP Jill Mortimer seems to be referring to in her letter. So any second now we expect the Prime Minister, Liz Truss, to appear there at the lectern and make a statement. That is all we have been told. We were told that she would be making a statement at 1:30 local time. And it's difficult to avoid reflecting, isn't it, Rob, who's still with me here, that it was just about 6 or so weeks ago that she was standing there on the day she was elected as leader of the party and the new Prime Minister.
Well, it's a tumultuous time in British politics. If people will excuse me, I'll carry on looking down here so as we can see the door of number 10 Downing Street. I was only going to say that if she is going, any successor will have three difficult challenges. One is the economic challenge, the economic crisis, cost of living crisis. Second, discipline within the governing Conservative Party. And then the third thing is sorting out what is Britain's sort of post-Brexit future, because if you like, if Liz Truss goes, the kind of vision of post-Brexit Britain as a sort of Singapore-on-Thames, low-tax, smaller state would have seemed to be dealt a bit of a blow. So they'd be back to sort of square one on, OK, we've done this. What exactly is the Conservative vision of Britain in 2022? Yeah,
and the two probably most pressing priorities, Robert, you'd probably agree, are stabilising the economy during a cost of living crisis. And Liz Truss tried to do that. She got rid of her ideological soulmate, we were told, Kwasi Kwarteng, who was the person she initially appointed as Chancellor, because of that hugely negative market reaction to their platform, which was to cut taxes in order, they said, to promote growth. She then appointed Jeremy Hunt, a much more centrist figure in the party, as her new Chancellor. That was, just 2 days ago? It's really hard to keep track of time because so much has been happening in each kind of 24-hour segment, hasn't it, Rob? It feels like much longer than that.
It is truly dizzying. I think that's why, whether it's Liz Truss, whether she comes out of this door to ask for more time, or whether it's Liz Truss about to depart and hand over to a new leader at some point, that the name of the game, obviously, for the Conservative Party and for the country is absolutely stability, to try and just sort of calm things down a bit, certainly in terms of the international financial markets, and I guess to sort of stop giving off that vibe to the rest of the world that we've somehow gone collectively crazy.
But to pick up on the other priority then, Rob, a Prime Minister, whether it's Liz Truss, whether it's anyone else, can't really do that, can't get a proper handle on the economy and any policy without the backing of the party. Well, here she comes with her husband, Liz Truss, her husband alongside her. Let's listen in.
Can I hear?
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
Well, extraordinary moment in British political history, a moment of huge drama. Liz Truss resigning, as she just told us, as leader of the Conservative Party and therefore as Prime Minister. There will be another Conservative Party leadership election within the next week. Our chief political correspondent, Nick Eardley, is still in Downing Street. Her premiership, Nick, has lasted less time than the leadership campaign that she won.